like, oh, there's like footsteps out there. And I was like, oh, like maybe our neighbor Alar did it. He was like, maybe he, you know, dropped something and went to pick it up in our backyard. Oh my gosh. And we go like kind of scope out the scene.
Yeah.
And there was footsteps only starting from the back gate. So we had on one side taller wooden gates, and on the other side, I think the cheaper side, we had like a short chain fence. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, a chain link fence.
Yeah, like one you'd see at a fucking dog park.
Like a schoolyard, yeah.
And yeah, so you could see that there was no footsteps behind that fence, the chain fence.
Yeah.
But it started literally flush with where the fence started. And because of a deep snowfall, like, you can see the footprints and see if they're, like, somebody would literally have had to, drop or something, like, because it started from such a weird space. Like, going into my backyard, there was a whole, like, pretty much house in front.
Yeah.
Where there was no footsteps leading up to.
Weird.
And then they went all the way to the back fence. And then we kind of, like, climbed the back fence to see if it was, like, they continued onto the neighbor's backyard, the back neighbor, because there's fucking suburbs. We had, like, 8 neighbors all around us.
Yeah.
But it stopped at the back gate. So from one gate to my very back gate, separating another yard from ours, it stopped. So it was just, like, one line of, like, boot.
It wasn't, like, walking around. It was just, like,
one line. Had no start from the gate and had no finish after our other gate.
Ew.
Our fence, I should say.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
That is so
We, like,
crazy.
wrapped our head for hours. Like, we could not... We still, to this day, my mom has a picture of it, and it's, like, her drunk story.
That's hilarious.
She pulls it up on her fucking, like, desktop.
Oh my God, she's never shown me. Does she know I love that stuff? Probably
we just don't... We have no answers for any of these things.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Oh my God. One time too.
Oh my God.
Sorry, this is a lot.
No, I need to know all of this.
It was Christmas Eve and my sister and I would always share a bedroom. So we would always do everything together before that. Like Christmas Eve, it's like family time. So we got back from like a party at my grandpa's house or something. And we were brushing our teeth together. Like, oh my God, get in bed. Santa's coming. We were like, maybe like 8 and like 6.
Okay.
Or 9 and 6.
Yeah.
And we were brushing our teeth. We can hear our parents fucking around in the basement, probably putting Santa's gifts under the tree. Fucking lying assholes. And then my dad comes up. He's like, what the fuck are you guys still doing awake? Like, go to sleep. And we're like, we're brushing our teeth. Like, you get mad at us if we don't. You get mad at us if I do now. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then he leaves. And he's like, whatever, fuck off. And we had our, like, tub faucet just randomly started completely flowing. Like, and we had one of those older tubs where, like, the handle was, like, a crystal-y thing, and, like, you had to pull it out and turn for temperature. Yeah. So you had to engage the water, like, you had to pull it out.
Yeah.
So it did that on its own. And, like, water just started coming from the tap. And, like, that's something that me and my sister share. And it was not one of us seeing something in the other. Like, we were both in the room. And the fucking faucet literally pulled out and turned. And the water, like, it looked like it was starting to run itself a tub kind of thing.
Ew. Just a hot bath after a long day of spooking.
On Christmas. The busiest time to spook, don't you know?
Oh, my God.
I think that's it. But it's just all such random things throughout such a sporadic, like, age groups. Like, there's no correlation to, like, oh, something happened in my life and then this all started. It was, like, all from very young, and, like, it almost took, like, years break and, like, comes back and, like, take years break and, like, it was very weird.
That's so strange.
Right?
Wow. I occasionally get these, like, weird noises in my basement. And it sounds like metal, like, sliding together. Like
what?
Like if you were to like, you know those old school like school chairs that were like super heavy and they had metal legs and metal feet.
Yeah.
And if you were to like drag them against the ground, and sometimes they make that like that really loud, like metal screechy kind of sound. Occasionally, like every so often, I'll be down in the basement doing laundry or something, and my basement's pretty quiet, but we have a dehumidifier going, so that takes up a lot of like noise, so you don't really hear it too much down there.
Yeah.
And but when that turns off, I'll hear like that screech, and it sounds like it's coming. When I'm in the back of my basement, it sounds like it's coming from the laundry room, but when I'm in the laundry room, it sounds like it's coming from the like storage room.
It's toying with you.
And so
little slut.
Right? So the first time I heard it, I was like, what the fuck was that? Oh, what the fuck was that? And I was like, bitch, hello? Hello? But there wasn't anything, like, nothing, like, happened. I didn't never see anything. But I do feel, like, slightly creeped out in my basement. But basements are always kind of scary, I think.
Kind of.
I don't know. Like, I haven't been in a basement that's not scary.
Unless they're, like, newly renovated.
Even still, it's just, like, the thought of, like, turning all the lights off. And it's going to be pitch black because there's no, like, big windows in the basement.
Yeah.
So even if it's in during the day, you're kind of like turn the lights off and run upstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still would do that to this day. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
No matter whose house I'm in.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, all the time because it's scary.
This was spooky. This is because I'm not in that house anymore. Like we moved out. Like when I went to college, my mom got a new house, and that's now her home, our home, kind of thing. Like our family house.
Do you think? Okay, wait. This might be TMI. We can cut this out if you don't want it to air. But when we were in high school, you went through like this like slight schizophrenic stage.
Yeah, I did.
Do you think it was because of the house, or do you think it was just like your mental health was like failing you at the time?
I have no idea.
Because you would say like you'd hear things, no, and see things.
Not see things. I would never see anything. That's why it was so confusing.
Yeah.
I do think it was because I did smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah.
And you can like convince yourself anything's kind of happening or hear anything. Like I did hear shit, but nothing like audibly convincing.
Okay.
And it was all the other experiences that I've had with people there, like my mom and my sister were present at the time, so it was like that was more solidifying, like okay, this is like actually a thing. You know?
Okay. Gotcha.
So it wasn't like I'm making all this up and like I woke up and now it's all a dream kind of thing. Like it was, these things are all very real and these things all did happen with other people around.
That's so scary.
So it wasn't just like me imagining it, if that's what you mean. No. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's always you always gotta sage your house when you move in or a new place, or at least just like communicate with the spirits or the energy in the place, and
for me it's crystals.
Let them know your intentions.
Nothing bad has happened to me in my life since I started getting crystals and like using them or just having them cleanse my space. Like nothing bad has happened. Like when I tell you nothing bad, I mean nothing. I mean my sister got COVID but she's fine now.
Yeah, okay.
And my mom got COVID but she's fine now.
Okay. Nice.
So nothing bad happened to me. I'm great.
I'm fine. The crystals be chilling.
They're my crystals, bitch.
That's fucking crazy. I don't know if I have any other like spooky ghost stories. My mom,
okay, because I almost can't handle anymore.
Well, my mom used to tell me this like story when we would go to Mexico. We would stay at this one like resort in Cocoyoc, and it was like this old castle essentially, but like on a big grounds, and they had like a golf course. It was beautiful, but they had like, it was like half the grounds was like ruins, and like so you'd walk through and it'd be like tropical, like overgrown ruins into like a restaurant or whatever. It was gorgeous. And then they had like pools and stuff and whatever. So my mom used to tell me the like story, the history of the families that used to live there and like own the property or whatever, own the castle. And apparently it was this little girl, Cecilia, that was like the daughter or whatever, the princess or whatever of the owner, and she one day was like kidnapped or something. Like they thought she was kidnapped, and they ended up finding her dead somewhere in the castle or on the grounds, and so she haunts the grounds now. And she told me that when I was like 8 years old, in a strange place, in a strange country, not in my own bed. Like it was the scariest thing as a little kid to be told that there's this ghost haunting this place. And then
my God, my parents would never. My parents sheltered me so hard when it came to that shit.
Well, because you were also a pussy. Yeah. I was probably like, yeah, really cool.
I just don't think that's cool.
I'm just a sicko.
Yeah.
I like being scared, sort of. Did I tell you we went to the I didn't tell you how that Casa Loma shit was.
Yeah, was it haunted?
No. Fucking sucked, kind of. It was fucking expensive, first of all.
Yeah.
It's like those haunted maze type things or whatever, where you just go through channels of, I don't know if you've ever been to Halloween Haunt at Wonderland or any of those types of places, but you go through like these buildings and they're just like basically a little bit of like a maze type thing where they decorate with different themes and whatever. It was cool to see like the decorations, but it wasn't scary, like at all. Mm-hmm. It was just like some small parts were really well done, and then it was just like they would throw bones on the side of the pathway and like some spider webs or spooky cloth shit, and then you'd get to like the next point and it'd be like really cool, decorated, and like really cool costumes for the actors, and then like it would just like be like whatever for the next little bit.
I thought it was like actually haunted and that's what they were doing. Like,
no.
I thought it was like a ghost walk.
No, I wish it was. You do go like underground into like the tunnels of the castle and stuff, which is really cool, but it was $50 each, and it was literally less than half an hour walking through, and it was packed, so we were shuffling like in between people, so it's even less scary because there's so many people, and like the actors would like pop out and scare you, but you would see it all the way up there, so then you would know that there's somebody gonna pop out. Yeah. You know, it was not worth it. Not at all. But there was a bar, like a club, halfway at the halfway point.
Yeah.
And so at the beginning, they're like, "Are you guys gonna plan to go to the bar?" And I'm like, "I didn't know there was a bar. I kind of would have liked to know. I would have booked it earlier if I knew, because we got there at 11
at night.
Yes, bitch. For me, that's the only time we could get at that. Like
11 at night. That you start.
Yeah. Well, no, it started at like I don't know what, noon or whatever, and then it went on, but that's the only time they had on a Saturday. I didn't want to do it on Sunday. So anyways, I was like, I didn't know there was a bar, bitch. Then we get to the bar, and the bar looked cool. It looked like spooky and like different colors.
You
and,
didn't
like,
stay for a drink?
Haunted. No, because we didn't plan to. So
you're not allowed to go?
Yeah, we could have. You need to show your passports like at the beginning though, I think. Like they had to give you like a special pass or some shit. So we said no at the beginning, and then we got to the bar and we're like, but it looked packed also. So like, and it just looked like a bunch of drunk people dressed in costumes, and like we weren't dressed in costumes. So it was just like this weird thing that we didn't even know was a thing. Right. And it would have been better to go with like more people, I think. Also, not just us two having a quiet evening. So anyways, it was just not worth it. Maybe if we went to the bar, maybe if we dressed up and did all that stuff.
Well,
sure.
Maybe if anybody is in Toronto and they want to see for themselves, you can go to Casa Loma.
Yeah. Test it out yourself. Not worth it though.
Okay.
Just saying.
To wrap this up on a lighter note,
yeah.
I do have a random thought.
Mm-hmm.
I feel because we are similar in a lot of ways that you may find this as gravely difficult as I did.
Okay.
It is a would you rather question, so
prepare
yourself.
Okay.
Would you rather
feel
all the effects of feeling sweaty all the time for the rest of your life?
Ew, like wet?
And like stinky, sticky.
Ew.
Uncomfortable.
Okay.
Or always feel like you have sand in between your fingers and toes for the rest of your life.
Oh no.
Isn't that fucking hard? I thought about that the other day and I was like, I don't know.
Sand.
Sand?
You're disappointed with my answer? Yeah, I don't want to be smelly and sweaty.
I hate the feeling of being sweaty.
Me too. It's literally the worst feeling ever. I want to shower every 5 minutes if I am sweaty.
Yeah,
I just hate it.
Camping and stuff. Oh god, no.
Yeah.
You feel like sticky and like
you just don't feel
touch something and it sticks to you. It's like,
yeah.
What the fuck? Why is there dirt on me?
You just can't get clean. Like I just feel I don't feel clean when I'm sweaty.
And you use baby wipes and then just adding more film to your skin is fucking gross. I would pick sand too any day.
Yeah.
But it did take me a long time to come to that conclusion because like sand is really fucking annoying.
Yeah. I actually don't mind it that much in between my toes. In between my fingers.
When you're working, when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
It's gross and it's annoying, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for participating. That was fun.
Thanks for having me.
If you have any spooky, scary, either real or fake ghost stories or spooky stories or anything, could you just DM us Because Maria really likes that stuff, and I like to debate whether it's real or not.
Yes, I would love to share them on our story.
Yeah.
And talk about what I think, and I'm